welcome to my review of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. This game was released in 1988 on the Nintendo Entertainment System, so it's over 25 years old. It's available for you to purchase on the Virtual Console for only $5. The only reason I purchased this game is because I've heard it's fun, but extremely hard, and well, if you watch my Super Smash Bros. Review, you'll see that, I poked around with the demo, and that's pretty much what inspired me to buy the game. So without further ado everybody, let's get started.
To begin, I want to go on record by saying that I fucking love Zelda. So you might be thinking, why exactly am I reviewing this game of all titles? Well, this is one of the very few Zelda games that I have actually yet to play. The franchise didn't get introduced to me until I played Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64. Reason being is because I had a Sega Genesis growing up. Because of this, I missed out on a lot of great franchises that Nintendo had to offer, like Mario Bros. And Metroid. So I figured, why not let my first Zelda review be of one that I've never played before. But let's not waste any more time, let's start with the plot. The story goes like this. Zelda's been placed in a deep sleeping spell and it's up to Link to wake her up. In order to do this, he must first gain the Triforce of Courage. To gain the Triforce of Courage, Link must visit 6 different palaces and place a crystal at the end of each one of them. Doing so unlocks the Great Palace, where Link then faces off against Thunderbird and then Shadow Link. After delivering the final blow to Shadow Link, this old man comes out of nowhere and hands Link the Triforce of Courage. He then uses the Triforce to break the sleeping spell on Zelda, and then they get it on behind closed curtains. It's about time we see a hero get some booty in a Nintendo game. You don't fucking see that in a Mario game. But of course, every great story needs to have a villain. Or, villains in this case. You see all these assholes here? These are just some of many followers of Ganon. Ganon is a giant evil pig monster that Link killed in the first game. Throughout the game, Ganon's followers are out to kill Link. Not out of petty revenge or anything like that, they're here to kill Link and take his blood. They intend to pour Link's blood onto Ganon's ashes to revitalize him. Wow, that is surprisingly violent for Nintendo. I always thought they were geared towards children, but I guess not.
Well, that's all there really is to say. Games this old never really had that much of an intricate story, so this one was easy. But let's move on to gameplay now, shall we?
Just like in the old games, you're free to give your character a name, but iconically the boy's name is Link. The name Link is something that Nintendo came up with to establish the link between the character and the player. But I'm gonna call mine Fuck because it's funny. You control Fuck in 2 ways. You got him here in the overworld, which is what you use to navigate through the land of Hyrule. In Hyrule, you can visit towns. In these towns, Fuck meets a lot of interesting people. You got this lady here who will take you into her house and restore your life. The game doesn't exactly say what this lady is doing to restore your life, so I'm just going to assume that Fuck is smacking patties with her. You also meet this old lady that'll restore your magic and... oh god. I bet she's giving him more than magic. There are other people in the town that Link can talk to, but most famous is this guy. I am Error. Nice to meet you, Error. I'm Fuck. But the main purpose of the towns is to do the side objectives within them. If you found an item in Hyrule that one of these characters was missing, they'll invite you inside their house. When you enter said person's house, there'll be a magician down in the basement that'll teach you a magic spell. Some towns even have a knight that Fuck can meet to teach him new sword techniques. But now that we covered all of that, let's move on to what makes Zelda 2 tick, the side-scrolling aspect. When traveling through Hyrule, you'll go through random enemy encounters. It's here that you take on enemies to rack up experience points, because for the first time, well really the only time actually, Zelda is supporting RPG elements. There are 3 ways to gain experience in this game. 1 by simply killing enemies, by finding experience in P bags, the fuck does the P stand for? And finally by completing a palace. Once Fuck gains enough experience, he'll level up. Once this happens, one of 3 attributes will increase: attack, magic, or life. Keep in mind though, you don't get to choose which one levels up. And I'm telling you right now, you need to level up as much as possible because this game is hard as shit. Fuck! I'm not kidding, this game will whoop your ass, steal your lunch money, and then give you an atomic wedgie just for good measure. Shit! And when you get a game over, it starts you all the way at the beginning of Hyrule Temple. That's not fucking fair. And to flick you in the nuts too, all of your XP is gone. So on top of all that, you have to painstakingly make it all the way back to where you left off and hope that you make it this time. I could try and be easy on it since it's the second game of this series, but oh my god, these enemies are relentless! You've got these Cyclops that throw maces. You've got these floating skulls that take forever and a day to fucking die. There's these stupid knights called Iron Knuckles that appear at the most inopportune times and they hit like a fucking wrecking ball. Yeah, and let's not forget the deadly bubbles that'll knock you back into the water. And then the water kills you because you can't swim for some reason. And you know what? While we're at it, let's just throw in the Ku Klux Klan. This game is fucking evil. And you know what? Why does Link always gotta hold shit over his head when he finds something? Can you imagine going to the bar with this guy?
Hey bro, you seen Link around?
Yeah, I saw him over there. He's picking up on some girls right now.
Oh yeah? How's he doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Is he gonna put her down?
Oh, God help you if you get a game over in the Great Palace too. Can you imagine how much of a bitch it's gonna be to travel all the way from Hyrule Temple all the way back to... what the...
If you die in the Great Palace, you start at the beginning of the Great Palace. That's weird. It's like it's a fucking Zelda game. But, hey, it's better than starting at the beginning of Hyrule Temple. Finally, the game shows you some mercy.
Alright, but in all seriousness, yes, the game is hard as shit. But as you progress through the game, it does start getting a little bit smoother for you. By the time you reach the end, you're fully leveled up and you're comfortable with how the game works. As long as you can develop strategies for enemies and use your magic wisely, the game should be a pretty comfortable adventure for the most part. But it will frustrate you. Zelda 2 is often referred to as the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. It's a hard game, but in my opinion it's a fun kind of hard. This isn't the kind of game that I'm just gonna get pissed off and never play again because it was just way too unbearably hard. It's not like The Last of Us on grounded mode, I'm telling you that right now. And there are aspects of the game that I legitimately like the graphics and of course the soundtrack. Oh man, I love that music. And Link controls very well, I must say. For a game that was made in the late 80s, the control works really favorably. However, I do feel like Link should be a little bit more versatile. All you can do is move left, right, jump, and attack with your sword. That's it. And as I mentioned earlier, you get a number of spells you get to choose from as well. The problem with these spells though is that a lot of them are just situational. The two main spells that you're going to use is going to have to be the life spell, which will increase your life at the cost of a shitload of magic, and the shield spell that'll temporarily increase your defenses. Other than that, all the other spells, like I said, are situational. You only need to use them at certain points of the game, but they're also mandatory to beat the game.
Well everyone, that covers Zelda 2. In conclusion, I can see why this game is called the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. Some people love it, and some people hate it. Me personally, I had a good time with the game even though it pissed me the fuck off. This game is not a masterpiece by any means, but it definitely helps you realize just how far the franchise has come, which brings me to the overall score of a 6 out of 10. This game is not a must-own title. I am not saying that whatsoever. However, if you are a Zelda fan such as myself, you need to get this game. And remember just where Zelda started. But with all that being said, everybody, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like, a share, and a subscribe. Tune in next time for another classic review of Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. We'll see you there. But in the meantime, I have a giant evil pig monster to slay. So we'll see you guys at the next video.